Hey guys, Tyler here, the Kingdom's trading card game, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. In today's video, I have an exciting announcement. I am showing you the first Kingdom coming out in set 3. So this is kind of a sneak peek, an early preview until set 3 officially comes out. And so the Kingdom that I'm going to be showing in this is the Kingdom of Flexil. And if you already, if you're on the Discord channel, you have already seen these cards. There's already been a little bit of conversation about them. So if you're not on the Discord server already, you should definitely go check that out. It will be in the description below. And so there's only 4 cards that I have posted to the Discord channel. And the way I'm going to actually approach releasing Kingdoms in the future for these big sets is that drawing 130 cards and then having to figure out all their stats and then put them all in the game crafter, that can be kind of overwhelming. And so to make small achievable goals, I'm deciding to work on one Kingdom at a time, and then in that only showcasing a couple of the cards to just kind of whet your palates, you could say. And I'm actually thinking about maybe even putting those cards on the game crafter as cheap as you can get them, so that if you really like those cards, you can get your hands on them early and maybe implement them into your decks that you already have. And so we're going to go over the 4 cards, and the first card, well, I'll talk about this. Flexil is a Tanis based Kingdom, so they're going to be more defensive, or they're not going to have a lot of hitting power. They're more trying to build a board state, kind of lock you out, and just ultimately make a wall that's impossible to get around. And so they are going to actually be introducing a brand new ability called Forge. And what Forge is basically, it's not bleed, so you have to be able to kill the battle card with one attack. Not, you can't just whittle it down. But if you do have enough attack to completely kill it, it technically has another life. It stays there. So for example, let's say a battle card has 400 and has 400 health, has the ability Forge, and you hit it with 500, it stays on the board, but it has one other hit that it can take, and then you can get rid of it. Now let's say you have 800 attack, but he has 400 health, you still have to attack it a second time because it's not like dealing double damage, if that makes sense. So the first card that we are going to show is Flexilian Soldier. He is a phase 2, cost 6 human battle card. It says this card costs -1 magicka to call for every Flexil battle card on the field, attack 600, health 500. Now I will say, for all these cards, the final version of them is still to be determined. Also the rarity, I haven't touched that at all for any of these. Now the reason why this guy costs 6, that's a little higher for a phase 2 card, but Tanis Kingdoms in general, their stats for phase 2 are going to be around the 400-600 range. And so even though the health is lower, that attack is 200 higher than it typically is. So that's why it's at 6. But I think overall, what Tanis Kingdoms need are just good attacking battle cards. They can't rely on neutrals too much. And so I think this is a fair balance of, it's going to be a little bit pricier, but you're going to have cards on the board. It'll bring it down, and you'll have 600 attack to work with, which should do good. And especially if you have a Tanis Kingdom playing a Tanis Kingdom, you're not going to have a lockout where you have 2 kingdoms that have super high defense or super high health, low attack, and no one can do anything. So that is the first battle card. And the flag, I really like the flag and the colors. I think it's fun. And I will be releasing lore eventually on the Kingdom of Flexil. The next card we have is Regiment Flexil. This is a cost 5, phase 3 human battle card. It says you must have a card on the field with the ability Forge to play this card, attack 700, health 600. Yeah, just kind of a standard phase 3 card. One thing you will start to see in set 3 and from here on out is that cards in phase 2 and phase 3 are not going to be increasingly more expensive. That is because you are already paying your time or your wasted space, so to speak, until you can play those cards. Because your opening hand, you might have a phase 3 card in your hand that you want in your hand until you can get to phase 3. And so you are losing a card space because of that. And so that's why cards are going to start being a little bit cheaper, and so that way they're more usable. So that way people aren't just using phase 1 and phase 2s. But as you can see, just a standard card that can hit a little bit harder. And because it does have higher attack, having that stipulation that you have to have another battle card with Forge on the field, I think that helps a little bit. The next card is Reporting Tower. This is cost 5, phase 1. It is a building, 100 attack, 400 health with the ability Forge. So pretty straightforward. Tanis Kingdoms rely heavily on the building and human cards. So that's why this is important, that it is a building and that it has Forge. This can open up the ability for you to be able to play the Regiment Flexil. or even because it's a little bit cheaper, and make Flexilian Soldier a little bit cheaper once you got to phase 2. So that is Reporting Tower. And the last card is Supply of Bricks. This is a cost 4 phase 1 item battle card, and it says battle cards with the Forge ability gain plus 200 health, and it's a 300 attack, 400 health. So overall, like I said, the Kingdom of Flexil is going to be based around the Forge ability, and really what they're trying to do is just build this board state where they have all these cards with Forge that you're trying to chip away at, and while they have that, their Human Battlecards are able to dip in and deliver the attack that they need to. So I'm really curious to see what you guys think of the Flexil battle cards that have been shown. There's still some spells and sacreds that you guys have not seen yet, but those are all drawn and pretty much completed with what they will do, their stats and abilities. There's still 2 more kingdoms that I have to show you, one for the Borum Spirit and one for the Mirth Spirit, and I'll be really excited to show you guys that. Like I said, I already have a little bit of lore written up for Flexil, but I want to finalize that before I share that with you. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, I always appreciate that. Anything that I want you to know about will be in the description box below, and until next time, thank you very much.